A little over a month ago, I published a video where I discussed Raw Accel. After more than a month of more or less intense use, I can give my verdict on it. First thing, do I recommend you try it? Yes, it 100% is worth a try, in my opinion. Even if you don't end up using it going forward, I think it shows you an aspect of aiming that most aren't used to. The main feedback I got is that it is hard to get used to, and I agree. It took me 4 days to get used to it, but a week to master it. In this week I picked up Kovacs again and was using Raw Accel in it. For the sense, I played and I'm still playing around with it. In my next aiming vid I will explain a bit better why, but for now I have 2.3 as my in-game sense and 2.174 as my multiplier, giving me a building sense of 5 with 1600 DPI. My approach to getting used to it was the same as learning new binds. I would start in the pit, move into BHE fights, then 1v1s, and finally arena or tournaments plus Kovacs. And the reality is that you will just have to play a lot with it, and the more you play, the faster you will improve with it. For whom is it though? I would say for the casual / beginning players more than for the advanced ones. I still stand by it being absolutely useful for a couple of weeks even for advanced ones to get a feel for it. But I find myself switching on and off as well, as it has some advantages but also some disadvantages. The main reason for this distinction is that it fixes the problem of finding a one-fits-all sense, as you have two separate ones that do their job perfectly. Advanced players have mastered their sense to a point where that compromise is not needed. Again, it might not be the perfect sense, but it gets the job done to a degree where the relearning isn't beneficial. When it comes to roles, as a tarper I found the most use in it. I noticed how much easier it was to lead with a higher sense when compared to a lower one, but retained my low sense aim. When it came to fragging, it is good, but there are some complications when it comes to mechanics and building, so if you don't feel it as a fragger, don't worry too much about it and stop using it. These mechanical complications are what led me turning it off. I like to be a little creative warrior at times, and not being able to spam certain moves really annoyed me. My closing thoughts. It fixed out of my aiming issues like my left side weakness that I mentioned in basically every aiming video. It really eased tarping and it preserved my max whilst basically not playing the game. But here's the point, it preserved what already existed. I feel like this can get most beginners to a more advanced level, but more advanced players that still grind the game a lot will have minimal to no benefits from it. That depends on your role though, as I said earlier. For me, for example, I will have it on every tournament from now on, but in my day-to-day use I think I will keep it off for the reasons stated earlier. I hope this video helped to clear up any questions you might have had, and I will see you again in the next one.